Himanshu sir, good evening. I am ready. Whenever you will give the go ahead, I will
Yes,
start.
yes. Good evening, Surajit sir.
Okay. Good evening, sir.
Uh, Good evening to all the participants from all the schools. Now we are here for the fourth online training on computational thinking. We have with us one of the most renowned resource person of the country, Surajit sir. Surajit sir, you are ready?
Yes, sir. I am ready.
Please start.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. So, good evening once again to Himanshu sir, our mentor, our guide, the visionary leader who always comes out with new ideas and giving all of us the opportunity to interact with each other in the process of learning. So thanks once again to Himanshu sir. Thanks once again to all the members of Aryabharta Sahodaya School Complex, Patna. And honestly speaking, sir, whenever I visit Patna, I get more and more enlightened. Last Saturday, I was in Patna. From Patna, I traveled to Vaisali. And there I had a wonderful training session of comprising 5 to 7 schools, around 130 participants. And what a session it was. Each and every teacher there was an intellectual, and we shared lot many things. So that's why Patna is so close. The entire Bihar, Jharkhand is so close to me, to my heart, and I always feel very happy to be associated with any form of learning system. So, respected teachers, today we will be discussing something which is now almost a hot topic every day in schools across India. That is about computational thinking and artificial intelligence. In fact, artificial intelligence is there for quite a long time now. Although, let me make it very clear to you, I am not at all an expert in computational thinking or artificial intelligence as far as the technical know-hows of the subjects are concerned. But while going through these two topics for some time, I really fell in love with them. In fact, I fell in love with artificial intelligence long ago. I remember in the year 2019, if I'm not making a mistake, Microsoft conducted a workshop on artificial thinking at Delhi, and several CBSE principals were invited to join it. Fortunately, I was lucky enough to get a chance over there to join and to get some ideas about what artificial intelligence is all about. What's the big deal about it? And I was overwhelmed by the way that particular workshop was conducted by the experts from Microsoft. And since then, I developed a softness for it. And as time is passing, you can see how slowly and slowly artificial intelligence is engripping our life. CPSE has now made it mandatory to teach artificial intelligence and computational thinking to the students. I think all of you know that at the beginning of this session, 26-27, or better to say at the end of the previous session, CPSE did a lot of work and is still doing a lot of work on how to promote these two subjects, computational thinking and artificial intelligence, and put it right into the curriculum directly. So you all also know that from class 3 onwards, from class 3 to class 8, we have to teach the children about computational thinking, about artificial intelligence, and this has almost become a regular subject in most of the schools. Some of the schools are yet to start because they are still hovering here and there to how to start, where to start. So I will tell all those schools, if you have any issues, you can later contact me, you can contact Himanshu sir also. And CBSE has come out with the handbooks for both the students and the teachers on computational thinking and artificial intelligence. You can directly get those books from the CBSE site, academic site. You visit academic site, and there's a particular portal over there which only discusses about artificial intelligence, computational thinking. The teachers, it's not only a subject for the computer teachers or the IT teachers, it's a subject for each one of us. So please visit the site, please go over there and see it. Okay, and you will get plenty of ideas, and very interesting subject. Okay, now the photograph that you can see over here right now, respected teachers, well, maybe my photograph or something like that with certain things. Now, this is actually the work of computational thinking and artificial intelligence. I will later discuss about this photograph later. Okay, but this is a work that has got designed by the help of artificial intelligence and computational thinking. Okay. Respected teachers, you all also know, if you are following the circulars of CBSE on a regular basis, you must have seen that on on the 9th of April 2026, the training department of CBSE, has said that this year's training theme, the 2026-2027 training theme, is all about computational thinking and artificial intelligence. Last year we had the theme on STEM education. This year it is on computational thinking and artificial intelligence. That's why we are all having district level deliberations programs in form of workshops on CT and AI. Recently in my district of Dhanbad, we had one such workshop. Another is coming in the month of July, and a few more are to come, where teachers are asked to go through the resource materials on this and prepare their presentation papers, and those presentation papers will be judged by the experts in the field of these two subjects, and then accordingly the other teachers will learn about artificial intelligence and thinking. But before entering into artificial intelligence, it is very important, respected teachers, to let you know that computational thinking, which is actually the precursor to artificial intelligence, it is important for us to know about computational thinking. We must have at least some idea about this computational thinking and all. Once we are with the idea, once we get some idea, then definitely it will become easy for us to go and get a better idea about artificial intelligence. And then combination of both these two will definitely help us to solve many of the problems that we are facing in our day-to-day learning processes that children are facing, and how to make life more easy, more accessible to the modern teachings, modern learning. Okay. Uh, so this is why, and the human brain, to be very honest, the human brain is actually the creator of everything. The human brain functions in such a way, no, that even after so many years of advanced medical research, it is still very difficult to say exactly how the human brain, how the human intelligence, the HI works. AI is definitely CTR. They are all the creations of the HI. Now, the functioning of the HI is still a mystery. You ask any top level biologist, any top level doctor, or the people studying that, sir, did we arrive at that particular juncture where we can say the brain is functioning because of this? I'll tell you, many of them will say, no, it's not like that. Okay, but the brain is functioning, the cognitive region of our learning processes are working, and on the basis of that, we are moving forward to create new things, new innovative ideas. Okay. Now, what is this computational thinking all about? What is this computational thinking? Uh, we have heard about the word computer, we have heard about the word computational, but what exactly is computational thinking? Is not just about coding. Now, there is something called coding also, which you must have heard about. Okay, for the last 3-4 years, a lot of discussions are going on about coding. It is not just about coding, it is a mental framework for formulated problems so that solutions can be executed by the human or a machine. Now, each one of us has the power of computational thinking. We can make a mental framework, we can come out with some formulae, and by joining all those things or decoding them or breaking them, we can execute solutions. Now, these solutions can be done by human beings also, can be done by machines also. Our primary concern is how to use the machines and go for it. So computational thinking, it translates complex issues into actionable logic. Okay, complex issues, complex questions are there in competitive examinations, in various types of problem solving games, methods. Okay, there are complex issues, and how we can convert those complex issues into simple ones by using the actionable logic, by applying logic. I will have a discussion about little bit of this when we move down with the program. Forms the bedrock of digital literacy. Bedrock, all of you know what is a bedrock. It's a phrase. It's a phrase that there's a bedrock, solid foundation. It creates a solid foundation for the act for creating this digital literacy. Now, digital literacy is something that is now discussed everywhere. Again, all of you know what is digital literacy. Okay, and learning about the digital world, getting enhanced knowledge about the digital world, how the digital world functions, that is then an essential for human AI collaboration. So computational thinking will lead to the recognition and understanding of artificial intelligence, when human intelligence and artificial intelligence both will be combined together. So computational thinking is about the mental framework. A little more definition so you will see. Okay, so this is the basic. That is, computational thinking is not, it is not just about coding or what many people say. It is the mental framework for formulated problems so that solutions can be executed by the machines as well as by human beings. And it forms the third point, if you see over here, forms the bedrock of digital literacy. Yes, it forms the bedrock of digital literacy. Uh, the very foundation, the strong foundation. Now, on the other side, if you see this illustration, you can see computational thinking and sort of branches are given: decomposition, debugging, generalization. We will come to these points one by one so that we will get a comprehensive idea about exactly what this computational thinking is all about. Okay, so the first part you will see, respected teachers, that is the foundations, decoding the mindset beyond machines. Okay, we have the machines, we'll go beyond the machines. Okay, so part one is the foundations, decoding the mindset beyond the machines. Let us move beyond the machines and think something much more developed and all. Okay, now defining the concept of this, what you call computational thinking. Good evening to all of you. Puspa madam, good evening. What is it and what it is not? What is it and what it is not, as far as CT is concerned or computational thinking is concerned? A cognitive problem solving process. What it is? It is a cognitive problem solving process that allows us to take a complex problem and develop solutions that a computer or a human being can understand and execute. Well, the previous definition was almost like that same thing. So what it is? It is a cognitive problem solving process. You know, the cognitive means the mind. By the help of the mind, it helps to solve the problem and allow to take a very complex problem and develop solutions that a computer or a human being can execute. We can come out. And what it is not just coding. Many think it is a coding, that another branch of this new world of new digital learning. It is not just coding. While coding is a tool, computational thinking is the mindset used to design the logic behind the code. It is an interdisciplinary skill. Yes, respected teachers. This particular part, the second one, it is not just coding. Coding is a tool. Okay, you apply it, you put it, and you get it. But computational thinking is a mindset. That is why it is called thinking. When you apply the word thinking, then definitely creativity works over there. Thinking is the creativity at creativity works over there. It is used, the thinking is the mindset used to design the logic behind the code. The code is given, coding is given, okay. But what is the logic? What is the logic behind the code? Say adding something or subtracting something or multiplying something, then only we come to this conclusion that answer is coming like this. So this is the logic, how the logic is applied over there. It is where the mind start working, the brain is working, where the emotion is working on it with it. At the same time, innovation is also working. Complete different thinking is there. Intellectualism is working. Lot many things are together and create an interdisciplinary skill. One discipline joined with another discipline, and a beautiful skill that comes out, which is actually computational thinking. That is why we are using the word thinking. We are not using the word making or doing. We are using the word thinking. And when you think, you are doing extraordinary work. They say that some of the big organizations in the world, they have just kept people with very high salaries whose duty is just to think. Like we have the Tatas. If you have seen the movie, okay, that I will request all of you, if you get a chance, you see this web series, Titan, made in India, and you will find what a beautiful movie it is. And there we have seen how people are using their human intelligence to come out with their best. Like you have heard about, I'm not promoting the movie, don't think it, because it's a beautiful movie. I was very much pleased to see it, and I was very much impressed. That's why I'm telling you that we have that. No, 1 minute I will take this. This is out of the context story, but I feel I should talk about it. You know, how ideas come to human brain is something again extraordinary. You know, from nowhere ideas come. Like that, like say for example, the Titan company, they have a watch called Titan Edge, which is supposed to be the thinnest, the slimmest watch in the world. And just imagine such a complex machinery is put into a chip or a plate which is as thick as a 5 rupee coin. Now, how the idea came to the man? While one day he was cutting, the man was a bit upset. That gentleman who is actually the founder whose brainchild was this Titan company, Xerxes Desai. He was cutting. He was using the knife and he was cutting some vegetables. And by seeing the edge of the knife, suddenly an idea came to him that why can't I make a wristwatch which will be as thin as this knife? You know, that is what thinking is all about. And this computational thinking has some sort of link. While I was watching the movie, I felt that there must be some thinking about this computational thinking, which maybe at that time they were not that much refined as we are having, but it works on that particular way. Respected teachers, this is how things move forward. This is how innovation comes. This is how new chapters of learning, new world of learning comes, and which later become important for our course learning also. Now, the four pillars of city or the computational thing. What are the four pillars of city? The first one is decomposition. Okay, decomposition. We biology teachers are very much famous with decomposition. Okay, chemistry teachers are very famous. They know very well about this. They are quite accustomed to this word decomposition, composition, decomposition. Biology also decomposition in the food chain. They are decomposers, chemistry, decomposition, reaction, so on and so forth. So keeping that in mind, the same decomposition is also over here in the computational thinking. Now, breaking down a complex problem or a system into smaller and more manageable parts. So, one part of computation, one pillar is that decomposition. Decompose them. Try to break them down as much as possible into the simplest, smallest, manageable point. Okay. Second is pattern recognition, looking for similarities among and within the problems to find trends. Now, you know, when you talk about when you talk about this pattern, the pattern is when you try to solve a problem, we go deep down into the matter, na? And we try to find out what are the various links which is actually making this problem a complex one, and where can we break them down and we can find some similarities so that we can find that it will come to an end. And then with this particular trend, the problem is getting recognition. You remember after our graduation days, when most of us were preparing for various types of competitive examinations, we used to have this aptitude test and all, where this circle turns this way, that circle turns in this way. So what will be there's a is actually the pattern recognition, which is also a part of this computational thinking. In fact, we are thinking all these things years and years before, when we were ready for the various types of competitive examinations for the railways and the Steel Authority of India Limited and so on and so forth. So decomposition is one pillar, that is break down the complex one into as simple and manageable points. Second, within those, try to find out the pattern on what basis those patterns are used to make the things complex and how we can convert them to simpler ones. Then abstraction, focusing on the important information only, ignoring irrelevant details. Yes, even modern world of teaching learning is also saying us the same thing. Some years ago, I have talked when I was discussing about smart teachers in smart schools. where one of the aspects of this is focus on the important information. Don't just beat around the bush here and there. Focus on, fine tune them. Okay, adjust your understanding so that the problem can be solved at the faster rate. So focusing on important information which is there only, and ignoring the irrelevant details. So when something complex is there, and you want to make it into a simpler ones. Okay, and you are studying it. Maybe a few of the things which are unnecessarily been kept over there as garbage, unnecessarily been kept over there as weeds, they should be removed and they should be ignored as fast as possible. So that is what is abstraction. Absolutely at the right point you go along. And finally comes the algorithms, that is developing a step-by-step solution to the problem or the rules to follow. So once we get hold of all the materials required in order to convert the complex problem to simpler ones, then just after that, at the end, the step by step join them, follow a rule, follow a pattern, and you will get the result. So these are the four pillars on which computational thinking is working on. That is why it is called computational thinking. Calculate, find out, differentiate, okay, eliminate, join, result is there. Okay, so remember, decomposition, pattern recognition, abstraction, and the algorithms. In fact, the entire digital world works on algorithms. The way we put step by step, we put the solution, we get the result. Even a simple, even if you just want to make a simple, what you call in the word processing software, if you just want to write a simple letter, also you just step by step you put it and you think how the things come out. So these are the four pillars. These are the four pillars of computational thinking. Respected teachers, let me make it very clear to you. What we are saying today is just a small part of this computational thinking. Computational thinking is a vast subject with a lot of advancement, lot of depth, but we are just getting a simple idea of how it works. Okay, it's not very high-fi medium because I have told you I'm not an expert, so I cannot give you all the answers, but whatever little bit I have seen so far, I'm trying to do the same. Okay. Now, this algorithmic thinking, step by step, how you will put them, this algorithmic thinking, how this has to be done. This is also important. Okay, so algorithmic thinking is about formulating things with enough clarity and systematic detail that they can be carried out reliably. Now, reliability is something that is of immense importance in the world of learning, teaching learning. Why you will listen to me? Who am I that you will listen to me? Why you will believe me? So there has to be some sort of systematic way of dealing the things finally under which you will come to this conclusion that not what this man is saying, chalo kuch to bol raha hai, theek thak hai. So reliable thinking. So algorithmic thinking is about formulating things with enough clarity. So if I have to, in school, we are doing it, we are doing algorithmic thinking every day in the classroom. That's why students listen to us. That's why they believe us. And that's why they write those things what we tell them, and they get good marks and they pass the examinations. So formulating things with enough clarity and systematic detail that can be carried out reliably. So believing, we have to make people believe. We teachers have such a unique quality that we compel to make people believe, not only to the student, but that parents also believe. So this is what is algorithmic thinking has to be applied. Now, how it's these two, you can see these four illustrations over there. I'll just explain. Okay, they are in a very small way it is written. So first of all, but before going over there, let us see these 3 points which are very important. Precision in instructions. Whenever we will instruct, we have to be absolutely clear with facts and figures. No humbling, fumbling over there, here and there. So precision in instruction. When the instruction will be given, एकदम टनल फोकस जिसको बोला जाता है. आप लोग टनल देखे हैं ना? टनल के इस पार से उस पार जब लाइट जाता है तो क्या होता है? एक ही जगह में फोकसिंग होता है. बस शिक्षा का दुनिया ऐसा ही है. एक ही जगह में फोकस करने पड़ेगा पहले to make the things for specific for precision instruction. Logical sequencing, whatever we will discuss, whatever we will talk, there must be a logic behind it. 2 + 2 4 क्यों होता है, जिसके पीछे जो लॉजिक है, और 3 + 1 4 भी क्यों होता है, इसके पीछे भी एक लॉजिक होता है. Somebody is pointing the finger, which is not a very good sign. ऐसा नहीं होता है सर. जो भी किए हैं, I feel sorry for that. So precision in instruction, tunnel focus होने पड़ेगा, and logical sequencing. Whatever we teach, it's not over here only. In general life also, if points are not placed, if a pattern, if a design is not followed, you can never give the correct answer and cannot bring out the solution. And predictable outcomes. See, if precision in instructions are there, if instructions are absolute precise to the point with facts, figures, okay, focused with enough clarity, then followed by logical sequences, you can predict that answers will be to the point. This is what algorithmic thinking is all about. Now you see this thing, you can see those gears over there, which are the system flow chart, which represents parts of a system. See, first of all, whenever there's a system flow chart, in computational thinking also, system flow chart is there. Now this flow chart is followed by decision flow. First there's a system flow chart. Okay, the problem is this. Then there is a decision flow that helps to make decisions. Logic, after that decision is coming, we go for logic flowchart, represent steps of logical process. Then we have the product flowchart for the product development steps. If before coming to the conclusion, what are the different steps we will need, and finally we will come to the process flowchart. So steps in a process and to get the answer. So first, see this one. Okay, we'll have a discussion over here once again. You can see these gears. Okay, it is called system flowchart. In the system, what are the parameters available? What are the complexities are available? Which will flow by decision. You have to take a decision on how to apply the logic. You have to take the decision on how to apply the logic. That apply flowchart is there. There are facts which we have to study, which will be followed by product flowchart. Okay, the logic is applied. Now we are getting the answers. We are slowly coming into answers. And finally, the process is made to get the answer ready. This is algorithmic thinking. This is not only limited to computational thinking, respected teachers. It is related to each and every step of thinking that we do. Even if you go to the market and you have to buy something, you also have to use this algorithmic thinking of yours within your brain to come out and bring the best. For all those sirs sitting over there, all those gents teachers sitting over there, I'm not going for any gender discrimination. बाजार जब आप लोग जाते हैं तो स्टेप बाय स्टेप ही ना सब खरीदते हैं. थोड़ा इधर उधर कीजिएगा तो घर में जब वापस आइएगा तो देखिएगा वो कैसे आपका कंप्यूटेशनल थिंकिंग का ऊपर शेकिंग लगाया जाता है, शेक किया जाता है आपका. So it's a life activity, I will tell you, if you look at it that way. And for the lady teachers over there, एक बार साड़ी का दुकान वो घुस गए तो पता नहीं क्या एल्गोरिथमिक थिंकिंग उनका दिमाग में आ जाता है कि साड़ी तो पसंद ही नहीं होता है, लॉजिक चलता ही नहीं है. एंड फाइनली एट द एंड ऑफ द डे द रिजल्ट्स कम आउट. जब कुछ 15-20 खरीद लिए, चलिए लॉजिक हो गया. Okay, jokes apart, life is like that. I'm just giving an example. Okay, don't take these things very seriously. Life is like this. So this is how it works. Okay. Now part 2, we'll come to the part 2. That is classroom integration. Okay, we have seen. Just one minute, phone call is there. Madam, I'll call you after half an hour. Okay. Part 2 now. Okay. Computational thinking, algorithmic thinking. Okay, then your decomposition, everything we have seen, we have tried. How we will integrate this in our classrooms? How to move CG into practice across the various subjects. This we will see a little bit. Okay, again, this is just a very superficial discussion. Lot can be discussed when we see those handbooks. When we see those handbooks, just been published by CBSE, the teacher's handbook, the students' handbook will get detailed. But today over here, we'll just see the superficial ones. Okay. Now, CT across the curriculum. I hope all of you know what is curriculum. I don't have to discuss about it. But just to make it once again clear to you, curriculum is not only limited to the syllabus or the portions to be taught. Curriculum itself is a vast subject. It's a broad spectrum subject which includes definitely the syllabus, the school culture, the institution culture, the teachers, the TLMs, the parents, the system, all come under the curriculum. So that is what curriculum is all about. So how CT works across curriculum. Now let's take, for example, science. Okay, of course. Obviously, whenever we talk about digital world, we talk about then definitely science, mathematics. These are the subjects that comes to our mind immediately, followed by the others. Now, modeling complex system and analyzing data clusters. Now, you can use CT, you can use computational thinking, or and help the students to model complex things. Like say, for example, a simple like say the atomic structure. We all study the atomic structure. We know the atomic structure, how this Niels Bohr finally came out with this idea about that the nucleus is at the center, which is where the neutrons and the protons are together. It's a heavy part, and the electrons are moving in their own orbits across all around the nucleus. And at that and the electrons are actually basically responsible for all types of chemical reactions. The neutron and the nucleus is responsible for nuclear reactions when heavy energy comes out. Now all these things, all these studies, or say the working of the human heart, or if you take physics, how different types of sound at different pitches come out by the help of the sound mechanism, by the help of a string, by the help of something from where sound comes out. All these things can be modeled, can be studied by the help of computational thinking. Now, how? Now, again, you have to apply these four parts. I'll come back once again over here. Just a minute. These four parts, we need to come to these four pillars, where again we will study about decomposition, about pattern recognition, abstraction, and algorithms. Okay, once we go over here, once we study those parts, then we can easily make science more valuable, more interesting. Science is already an interesting subject, but with the help of CT, and then of course we'll go with, move towards AI, then definitely studying science will become more easy. Studying science will become more easy. Sequencing them, putting the matters together, coming out with beautiful understanding of science. How the cells function in the body, or how this electromagnetic work, how electricity how we can generate electricity by the help of magnetism. I'm not a physics man, that much advanced physics man to talk about it, but this can be done by the help of CT, computational thinking. Only thing is that it needs little bit of dedication and all. Next is mathematics. Using these algorithms for sequences and optimization tasks, we can solve mathematical problems. Yes, respected teachers, I'll tell you. And if time permits, I will show you how we can go through this. Okay. So mathematics using algorithms for sequences and optimizing the tasks. Okay. Again, what is algorithmic thinking? Just now we have seen. Okay, that is how first find out the problem, then go for a discussion, see the logic behind it, and finally combine together and come out it. Okay, I'll once again we'll go to this particular uh, slide so that you will get a little idea once again. This one, okay. System flowchart, we will see how the problem is represented. Then decision flowchart, what decisions are there? A lot of decisions will be there. Finally, we have to focus to one or two one. Then we will try to apply the logic By applying the logic, you will get the product, and after getting the product, you will process the flowchart and the answer will come out. So in this way, we can deal with mathematics also. Okay. I mean, this is just a superficial one. Let me tell you. Okay. Later on, with deep understanding of the subject, we can get more and more ideas. But this is something that you can say, okay, this will give you a first-hand knowledge about literacy, general literacy, learning, extracting themes, abstractions, and plotting stories and structures. Okay, yes. With the help of computational thinking, beautiful, we can write beautiful poetry. You will say, sir, how is that possible? Hey, we are applying the thinking capacity, na? With the thinking capacity, we will apply a little bit of logic to make more meaningful understanding. Although they say that if you want to write a romantic poetry, if you want to write a romantic poetry, always the logic may not apply over there, because poets have that freedom of turning and twisting words and sentences in a different way. But by the application of computational thinking, you can make it more logical. Like I will tell you one, there was this, we don't have the capacity to talk about such great poets, but some technical points, some that just a few days ago, I was just watching one small television program, and there is a particular song written by Kavi Guru Rabindranath Tagore. I think all of you uh, like Rabindra Sangeet, whether it is in Hindi or it is in Bengali, and those songs are marvelous songs with extraordinary tune and rhythm and the lyrics and all. But then one particular song is there which goes like this. ভেঙে মোর ঘরের চাবি নিয়ে যাবি ভেঙে মোর ঘরের চাবি নিয়ে যাবি কে আমারে. Now, one boy was telling this. Technically, this part is wrong. भेंगे मोर घर, if you break the key, चाबी मतलब की होता है ना. हम अगर चाबी को तोड़ देंगे तो हम कैसे किसी को ले, हमको ताला को तोड़ने पड़ेगा. अगर ताला को हम लॉक को हम तोड़ सकते हैं, तभी जाके हम किसी को बाहर निकल सकते हैं. But कवि गुरु वहां लिखे हैं कि भेंगे मोर घरे चाबी. Now he has written it in China. So the boys of this generation, they are saying, how is it possible that you will break the key? You have to break the lock. But poets thinking was something different. Whenever in those days, whenever we used to talk about this locking and all, we always used to say, "Arey chabi de diya kya?" Hardly people used to say lock kar diya kya, chabi de diya. So keeping that in mind, but see how intelligent today's children are. They are using this computational thinking and they say it is technically wrong. So literacy can also be made into advanced form. Literacy can be, the themes of different types of literacy can be also brought out in the best possible way by the application of our this CT, computational thinking. You can make more logic of it, but साहित्य में अगर ज्यादा लॉजिक हम डालने जाएंगे तो फिर साहित्य का जो रस होता है वो खुद बे खुद चला जाएगा, वो मजा नहीं आएगा. बट स्टिल चलिए, वक्त के साथ साथ सब कुछ बदलता है, और बदलते हुए वक्त के साथ अगर हम खुद को नहीं बदल पाए तो हम खुद बदल जाएंगे. तो ये सारा चीज देख के लगता है कि सिटी आप साहित्य को भी ये करेंगे, कंट्रोल करेंगे. बट मुझे लग मैं थोड़ा पुराना स्कूल का हूँ. आई बिलोंग टू द ओल्ड स्कूल, और आई ऑलवेज फील दैट लिटरेसी शुड नॉट सफर टू मच ड्यू टू सिटी. चलिए, ये मेरा पर्सनल ख्याल है. आप लोग का क्या राय है? आफ्टर द प्रोग्राम आप लोग बताइएगा, तो उसमें थोड़ा सा हम लोग को भी जानकारी मिले. सो यू कैन पुट सिटी across the curriculum in various. You can use city to make teaching learning materials. Teacher himself, who is a TLM, can also get influenced by city and start teaching the children with more logic and more concept and more precision than what he or she used to do some time ago. Need to change. Now, effective teaching strategies. What are the different types of teaching strategies that you can apply by using CT? First of all, unplugged activities. Teach core concepts like sorting or searching using physical cards or student movement before touching the screen. Yes. Teach core concept like sorting or searching using physical, not only physical cards. Okay. In general, get the information from various sources before the student goes and touch the computer screen. Before that, you create that mindset to find out the logics, to find out the basics, and then apply it. Physical computing, this is called unplugged activity. खुलेआम छोड़ दीजिए. Respected teachers, have you ever thought why the foundational stage of our this 5 plus 3 plus 3 plus 4 schooling system is giving the opportunity of the children only to explore things? Why it is only activity based learning? Why it is said that the teachers should just keep and watch on what the children are doing and let the children are doing to develop thinking? Unplugged activities will be there. Let them go, let them find, let them, and let them decide. There is a link with everything. Without that, progress of the human brain cannot go forward. Freedom is required. Judgment should not be there. Then only we can move forward. So see from what level of thinking this is going on. Those people who have come out with the NEP 2020 and the NCF, they are no ordinary people. Their thinking is beyond the thinking of us. Physical computing, use simple robotics to provide immediate, tangible feedback on algorithmic and logical debugging. Yes, use simple. The robotics is again something that we all are thinking a lot about it. Now use simple robotics. Okay, one say one angular wire and one spiral wire. How they join together to give some sort of a movement is about robotics. And there you have to use the algorithmic logic, what to put after what, so that all the problems can be solved and we can come out with a good result. So initially start with simple, that is called physical computing. Do it by yourself. Metacognitive talk, encourage students to think aloud while solving problems to reveal their decomposition and abstraction processes. Not only just keeping quiet, let them think aloud. Okay. Deep thinking to come out to reveal their decomposition means to break the things from the complex into simpler ones as much as possible, and then removing the unwanted. The abstraction process should continue, removing the unwanted ones and make the things more simple and more effective. The pedagogy of the question, shift focus from providing the right answer to asking how did we get there. Yes. ये सोच आज का नहीं है. ये Albert Einstein thought years and years ago. This is what the answer is. How did we get there? This is the correct answer, but why this is the correct answer? What is the logic behind it? How we reach? What are the consequences? What are the pathways that we follow in order to get to that point? So the pedagogy of question is learn the system. That is why we have these different types of teaching strategies. We teach the children. A bridge is made in this way with various types of angles joined at different angles to make the bridge. Or say, for example, in order to go for a microscopic observation of certain bacteria or fungi under the microscope, what are the different types of logics we are applying over there in order to how did you reach that? Why I will say that a stylokid is in spiral shape. क्यों उसको हम ऐसा बोलेंगे? बैक्टीरिया अगर हम बात करते हैं, आप लोगों ने बायोलॉजी टीचर्स बट फॉर जनरल टीचर आई एम टेलिंग यू, बहुत सारे टाइप्स का बैक्टीरिया होता है. कोई रॉड शेप होता है, कोई कोमा शेप होता है, कोई राउंड शेप होता है, कोई स्पाइरल. तो अगर स्पाइरल है तो हम उसको स्पाइरल नाम क्यों दे? किस में कंक्लूज करके हम वहां पे आए हैं? दैट इज इम्पोर्टेंट. Now we say the human large and small intestine is a highly coiled. Why it is coiled? What is the logic behind it? उसको coil करके क्यों रखा गया है? क्योंकि सारे उतना बड़ा चीज तो हम नहीं रख सकते ना. So this is beyond logic. So that is why it is important to focus more into it, to decompose the things and come out with abstraction processes, then only we can say that this is the right answer is this, but how did we get over there is much more important. स्कूल में बच्चे को क्लास 10 और 12 तक पढ़ाना बहुत डिफिकल्ट चीज है। रेस्पेक्टेड टीचर्स, ग्रेजुएशन वो करने जाता है तो बात कुछ और बन जाता है। और at this particular juncture, if we can let them know how we got over there, आप दुनिया जीत जाएंगे। चलिए थोड़ा आगे बढ़ते हैं। बहुत I have talked a lot about it. So shifting the pedagogy, how you will shift the learning dimensions. Learning dimensions are more about problem solving. So the teacher has to play a very important role over there. Handling of the data, mistakes are there. Mistakes has to be taken very seriously. Why the mistake happened? How to minimize the mistake as much as possible. Okay, so these are the learning dimensions that we have to go, apply in our pedagogy when we are with the help of CT in order to get the best pedagogy for each and every subject that we want to teach our children so that they know the best out of it. Okay. ट्रेडिशनल अप्रोच क्या था? इंस्ट्रक्शन, ट्रेडिशनल अप्रोच में थोड़ा बहुत रहेगा लाइक इंस्ट्रक्शन बेस्ड responses. Instructions were given on the basis of that the responses that the students given. Information provider, teacher's role is also over there as an information provider, provide the information. Okay, uh, just 1 minute, I'll just take 1 minute. Excuse me for this. Traditional approach में था कि instruction based, basically instructions were given, the teacher was more or less like an information provider, rote memorization किसी तरीके से mugging and jugging up, and lot of signs of failures used to come. And the computational thinking, what is systematic decomposition? Systematic breaking the complex matter into simpler ones by step learning. Now over here teacher is more like a facilitator of education rather than a information provider or somewhere has something like that. Pattern discovery and modeling, these things we are instead of the rote memorization and data handling and all, we are trying to discover the pattern. On the basis of the pattern, we will come out with the modeling by which we can come out with the answers and debugging the approach, removing unnecessary things as much as possible to get the best. So the pedagogy is now shifting from learning dimensions and traditional approach to the computational thinking, where the teacher is the facilitator. Decomposition of the complex matter is divided into simpler ones to dive deep into the matter to get them. We try to find out the patterns by which these things are made, so that once we recognize the pattern, we will be able to move towards the answer more quickly and perfectly. Okay. This is how the pedagogy will go. Implementing a CT lesson, how you will implement. The first of all, define, decompose, abstract, evaluate. DDAE. DDAE, what they are saying in their world. Okay. The CT world is saying like this. Present a messy real world problem. Messy, a difficult problem को present कीजिए. Decompose, break the task into subgoals. छोटा-छोटा tasks को break कर दीजिए. Filter out the noise, find the logic. Unnecessary जो है, noise क्या होता है? कभी-कभी हम भी चिल्लाते हैं, noise होता है. That is also unnecessary. So filter out the noise and find the logic. What is the logic over how this has come to this? Okay, this is because of this, that is the logic. Okay. And then test the solution and debug the errors. Whatever other things are there, you can remove it and get it. Even if you see the revised Bloom's taxonomy, where this Laurin Anderson and his colleagues, friends said that before doing something new, creating something new, let us evaluate and debug unnecessary things so that less time is wasted and something new comes out by application of the heart and all. Everything follows in the same track. test the solution, debug the errors, and come out. So define it, find out a messy problem, try to study about it as much as possible, go deep into the matter. Then once you understand the matter, decompose it. Try to find out points from where you can decompose, break it into simpler ones. The sub goals and sub goals are means these are the places where you need to separate it so that you can make it more simple. Then remove abstraction, remove unnecessary things. Don't go for them. Find out the solution, debug it, come out with the answer. That's how the city lesson can be implemented. And what will be the impact of all these things? Computational thinking prepares students for a future where they aren't just consumers of technology, but creators of solutions. Yes, respected teachers, it's a fact. Computational thinking, if we really, why CBSE is giving so much emphasis, so much importance to computational thinking and art, because these are the subjects of tomorrow. And I will tell you the entire teaching learning process will have a paradigm, which is already having a paradigm shift. And the shift will be much more vast and wide. So computational thinking will prepare students for a future where they are not just consumers. They will not only take the technology, but they will create the solution. They will create the technology in a different way. By training teachers today, we build the logical resilience and creative systematic thinking required for the workforce of tomorrow. Yes. So a lot of training programs will go on. This is just a superficial, a simple one. You just got some ideas. Okay. More you will get, more trainings will be given, more you have to dive into the matter, and you will come out with the logical resilience, come back with better ideas where you will become creative, you will go for a systematic thinking, and finally, you will create the required workforce of tomorrow. Tomorrow's classrooms will be completely different than what they are today. So that's why we need to move with the change. We need to learn the new subjects, and we need to face new technology so that our students tomorrow become the creators of everything. With this, we have come to the end, and this is a very simple discussion on it. Okay. Now, if you have any questions, how can you integrate CT into your classroom? That we can do later also. A more detailed thing we can do in our next training programs. And thank you, respected teachers, for listening and going and getting some ideas about. I hope I have been able to give you some ideas about it, but it's a vast subject. We have just collected a few drops of water from the vast ocean of computational thinking and artificial intelligence. Lot many are there to take. And as I was discussing, this particular poster or something like this is actually by the help of artificial intelligence I've been able to create by putting the matters by decomposition, by this what you called algorithmic thinking and all. The matter was given, the matter was put, the matter came, and finally we got this result. Okay, so I applied all these three techniques, that is define, decompose, abstract, and evaluate. Okay, I defined that I need a good poster where these things will be there. Then I said following things should not be there, only give these things, the abstract ideas given, and finally came out with this. So this is how this photo, and you all are also making it in the same way. Only thing is that you have to pass on the commands, and by giving the command, some AI tools are there which will work with you. Thank you, Manish sir. Thank you very much. Thank you so much. So with this, we come to an end. You can again call me at 8250030091 if you want any information, any more information about CT and AI. And sir, thank you, Susil sir. Thank you very much. We'll try to have another session on how to integrate totally with different subjects. How to integrate CT with different subjects. Then we'll move to AI, how to use AI in classrooms, and so on and so forth. Okay, Himanshu sir, with this I have come to the end. If anyone has any question, they can ask. But don't ask too tough questions because this thing is something new to me also. I am also learning as much as possible. Yes, okay. So with this, I am stopping the presentation. If anybody has any question, please ask. Or let us hear something from Himanshu sir. the expert in everything. Sir, your valuable suggestions, your valuable ideas, कुछ थोड़ा सा आपका टिप्पणी हमें चाहिए तो हम और सीख सकें. Sir, unmute yourself, sir. Please unmute yourself and tell us, sir.
Participants,
Yes. Ji, sir. Now you are okay, sir. Please.
participants are requested to kindly ask their queries. If any question. Okay. So thank you, Surajit sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Been an excellent one once again. And what was required with the computational thinking, that has been cleared up. But computational thinking is such a topic wherein we require more and more efforts.
Exactly.
And at least 5 more sessions on this topic.
True, sir. Absolutely true, sir. Absolutely true. Yes.
I just wish to share with you that few days back I conducted a DLD.
Okay. Right, sir. Sir, unmute yourself, sir. Sir, again you got muted. Please unmute, sir. Himanshu, sir, please unmute yourself, sir.
Am I audible?
Yes, now you are audible, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. So I just said that we need at least 4 5 more sessions on this topic.
Right.
I was sharing that a few days back we conducted a DLD on CTAI with the sub theme as of mathematics as the cornerstone for CT and AI readiness. And had been an excellent session. It was an offline session for 6 hours, as is mandated.
Right.
Prior to that, we conducted one session on the computational thinking, design thinking, wherein we asked the participants were the school teachers from 9 to 12 in subjects mathematics, sciences, IT. And those teachers were, say, first there were deliberations on the computational thinking, AI, and then they were asked to frame competency-based questions. One question of 5 marks, along with the marking scheme and detailed solutions, so that they could realize that what actual pain is lying in framing questions, and how are graders struggling. That it is very easy to say that I got very less marks, the evaluation was not good. What is the real pain in evaluation, and what is the concept behind framing question? So it's a very large connotation, and we all have to deliberate upon it, so that the students can be trained well, which CBSE is mandated as the inculcation of 21st century. So it was really a very nice session today. And as I said, I request you to please be ready for at least 3 4 more such sections on this.
Sure, sir. Sure. Definitely, sir. Definitely. Yes.
So thank you so much, everyone. And
thank you,
we
sir.
already shared the feedback link, attendance. For that, you please go on the link and make your attendance. So thank you, Surajit sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much, sir. Okay.